The secret to getting ahead of 99% of people is not what you do, but what you don't do. And I'll repeat that. The secret to getting ahead of 99% of people is not what you do, but what you don't do. If you're like so many of us trying to get ahead of life, trying to improve our lives, and generally trying to achieve goals, then this video is for you. I'm gonna go over the 5 key areas in order to bring the most results into your life. So according to a UK study, approximately 78% of adults are consuming alcohol. And in Luxembourg, the highest proportion of drinkers at 84%, and the US at 71%. About 48.5 million Americans, about 16%, are battling with substance use disorder in the past year alone. And these are only the reported ones. What about the ones that are using it recreationally? The point here is not so much about alcohol and drugs themselves, but that most Americans, myself and you guys that are watching, know someone or are that someone that are using substances in order to numb themselves. And this goes beyond just drugs and alcohol, but we're talking about pornography, we're talking about video game addictions, and we're talking about all the things that we use in order to numb ourselves. For me, that was video games. I was addicted to video games from my early teens into my early 20s, and I spent so many years and so many hours every single day playing Warcraft, playing League of Legends, playing RuneScape, and chasing these highs and these next levels in order to level up in a virtual reality world and not in the real world. I was neglecting my grades, I was getting horrible grades, I was forgetting to even eat dinner, finding me late at night at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. playing video games. I didn't really hit rock bottom until I found a new purpose in life. So many of us are addicted to some substance or some form of addiction in one way or another, whether that is alcohol, drugs, or shopping addictions, pornography, antisocial, and these are the things that we need to stop doing in order to get ahead of 99% of people. Let's talk about free time. How many of us feel like we're always busy, that we don't have time, and when someone says, hey, you should go and pursue that goal or project that you've always been saying that you wanted to do, but our answer is typically, oh, I don't have time, maybe I'll wait for this weekend, I'm so busy. But if we're tracking how much time we're actually spending doom scrolling on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, and just generally trying to catch up on other people's lives instead of living our own lives. And if we count all those years where we've been mindlessly scrolling and generally consuming content instead of creating, instead of doing those things that we always said we're gonna do, whether that is just traveling or whether that's just spending more time with family, on all those things on our list. Imagine if we can take all that time and put it into the right areas in our lives. Just imagine how much progress we would actually make in our goals and generally how much more content and happy we are in our general day-to-day lives. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video and you're finding some value out of it, please make sure to like and subscribe for more. Let's talk about relationships. I think that getting into the wrong relationship is more detrimental than actually being alone. Society sort of pushes this narrative that we can't be alone, that being alone is a sign of weakness, and generally maybe our peers, our family, our friends are pressuring us to get into a relationship. But how many of us stops to think that, hey, maybe getting into the wrong relationship is actually more detrimental than if I actually stayed single? And this concept on relationship is not only about intimate relationships, but people that we generally know, friends, family, and even acquaintances. Who are the people that I need to remove from my life, or rather stay away from, in order to get me from the 99% to the 1%? How many of us are in dead-end relationships? People that don't reciprocate, people that we are pouring our hearts and souls into, and they are not even giving us an ounce of that respect back. It's being confident in who you are. It's being able to be, hey, I will be okay, that I'm going to be self-sufficient, and I'm going to find the people of my tribe, and the people that are not reciprocative, I'm going to keep them at arm's distance. And that's okay, because not everyone is meant to ride the bus with you to the end of your life. And that's okay. Some people are gonna get off at a certain stop, and that's okay too. Because I don't think that everything is supposed to last forever. And there's different seasons in your life, and when that season is over, maybe those people are gonna be gone. and that's perfectly okay as well. Let's talk about money. Money, 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 money. How can we live the life that we truly want and really to enter the top 1% if we don't talk about money? Because wealth is an enabler. It allows us to actually live the life that we want with the people we want, doing the things that we want. And generally, it's about freedom. A lot of us are really spending frivolously. And when you're trying to accumulate wealth, it's not so much about just increasing your income, because a lot of videos talk about increasing your income, how to negotiate your salary, job hop every 3 years, and that's all great. But if you cannot handle the other side of the equation, which is your desires, how much you actually spend, because it's about income and how much you spend, because you could keep on increasing your income as much as you want, but if the other side of the equation where your expenses are just as high or higher than your income, then you will never be wealthy. As the Buddha said, desire is the root of all suffering. It's not so much as saying like, hey, I don't want anything in my life. Of course I like the nice designer clothes sometimes, or this little gadget that's gonna help improve my quality of life. I'm not saying to reduce all your desires, but it's asking what are the things that are truly important in my life and that really improve my quality of life without going overboard. Because a lot of us are chasing the latest fashion trends, are trying to impress others, are trying to put up this personification of someone that we might not be, because the narrative of society, of friends, of family are pressuring us to do things, and then we find ourselves stuck in this rat race in order to be working for money and spending it on things that we don't even like in order to impress people that we don't even care about. Because I promise you that 99% are neck deep in credit card debt, are spending hundreds of dollars every month on car insurance, are overspending on rent that they can't really afford in order to impress people. So if you find yourself with an addiction or battling with a substance, or you're just generally in poor relationships that are detrimental to your goal, that are holding you back, or you just have issues with your finances and spending, or you're wasting a lot of time, then you're probably in the 99%. And so am I. This elusive 1% and trying to reach the top 1% is really a pipe dream. The idea here is not to say that you can't reach the 1%, because there obviously are people that don't have any of these issues. But at the end of the day, it's about incremental improvement. Wherever you are, right here, right now, today, in order to reach your ideal self in the future, whether that is a year from now, 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, it's about the progress that you make. And once you start removing those things from your life, you will find yourself with more time, with more energy, and more resources that you can then start doing, right? The fifth and final area is doing. Because without doing and without execution, all the self-help videos and all of the stuff out there that is meant to improve your life is going to be pointless. If you made it to the end of the video, you're already in the top 1% in my eyes. Thank you for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe, and also drop a comment in the section below. I want to hear from you whether or not this makes sense or whether I'm full of baloney. And as always, check out this video right here for more.